unafraid. I'm trying to walk the walk, truth on the mic, no shame here, just real talk. Came from the outside, never fit in. Now we tell the story and the healing begins. No front, no mask, just telling the truth. Keep it real, keep it raw, speaking straight from the booth. If you feeling like an outsider, this one's for you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to...
You know it's going to be a good episode when we just come into it just laughing.
Welcome to another episode of Unashamed, Unafraid. We are unashamed of sexual addiction recovery and unafraid of coming unto Christ for healing. We had some pre-recording antics from our friend James, who has taken the audio engineer seat for the first time in his long career here at Unashamed, Unafraid. Thank you, James.
He did a great job. Well, we'll see if it records.
That's true.
So this is Austin. So Austin jumping in on this. And Austin, you were talking with Sam about some really cool things that you do where you write letters to God.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for you to tell all of our listeners about it, because I want to issue the challenge, because I love, obviously, issuing challenges.
For the past 6 months, I've had this little journal that I take with me everywhere, except for today. I left it in my other car. However, I've got this little journal that I just keep with me at all times, and they're my prayers to God. It started out more as just me writing out my thoughts and my feelings about my recovery when I started about 6 months ago. And I started realizing that just writing wasn't enough and that I needed it to be directed to someone or something. And so I started writing to God. And like, I'd start each one out with "Dear God," and then I just write everything that's in my mind, unfiltered, unashamed, unafraid, just the messy, gross, everything. But it's been beautiful. It's become like this documentation of my recovery and everything that's led up to it and everything that's been going on over the past little while. But it has absolutely transformed my relationship with God and has allowed me to start to find the God that loves me. And God started talking back to me, which was so foreign and mind-blowing that God cared enough to respond to my chicken scratch of a letter that I wrote out in a moment of panic and fear and pain. And
This wasn't like Harry Potter with Tom Riddle's diary, was it?
it's exactly what it was.
That's the way. I don't know if I want to write these letters.
No. Just whether it be a feeling, a prompting, whatever you want to call it, somebody reaching out to me, the things that I started writing about and asking God about started manifesting in my life through the people around me. My wife and I started communicating way better, and just people in my life, you for instance, popped up at the exact moments that I needed them and giving me the things that I needed to find God and become closer to him. I mean, just so many times I can open a page and point to it and be like, this thing that I said here, I can tell you exactly when God answered it. And that's over 6 months of writing. He answers.
Heck
He answers.
yeah.
Who could believe that when you talk to God, he will answer you? It's a crazy thought.
And what has that done for your sobriety?
Blew it out of the water. I'm about 4 months sober. Somewhere within that range. The last time I've gotten this far in sobriety was, I think I was about 17.
Heck yeah.
And so it's been huge.
So here's my challenge to y'all. If you haven't done it, try it and see if that works. Start writing those letters to God. And we'd love to hear about it. So email us and let us know what your experience is like with writing these letters to God, and see if God talks back.
This is a perfect segue into this episode, because this led Austin into kind of this conversation with God. Like, what do you want me to do?
That's right, because you did say that. Yes.
No,
What's
yeah.
your, just dude, tell us the story.
No,
So
it's
God
good, yeah.
started talking back to you and said,
Yeah.
this is what I want you to do.
So yeah, God starts talking back to me. And one of the things that I had written at this kind of point in this is honestly like a month ago. I'm just writing and just saying like, I'm at a good point in my recovery. I've learned to trust God, and now I'm finding the God that loves me. And I'm like, I want more. I want more of our relationship. I want to be stronger. I want to be more of the son that you want me to be. I'm like, what do I need to do? What do you need from me? And he called me out into deeper waters. And he's like, get a poster board, write, I'm a porn addict in recovery. Ask me anything. And go to Utah Valley University and sit there. I was like, that is a crazy thing to do. To put myself out there like that, to be that vulnerable, to be that unashamed, to be that unafraid in my recovery and my sobriety, that's crazy. But I was like, okay, so and it wasn't like an immediate thing. I sat on it. I sat on it for like a month, but I was like, you told my wife about it and she was like all on board and everything, but I kept on dragging my feet. And I talked to God even more, like several times in the shower. I'm talking to God. I'm just like, what can I do? Like, what can I do to be closer to you? And he's like, I already told you. And I'm like, and just,
Fine.
yeah, kind of, but still sat on it. And then about the day before I went and did it, this one I actually wrote, but I was just like, why do you want me to do this? And the answer that I got was just God said, like, I want this done and I would like you to do it, but I will have somebody else do it if you don't. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So I went to UVU and sat there for 3 hours and not a soul talked to me for the 3 hours. I had some people look at me, they'd nod, they'd give me a smile. Lots of people would like read the sign and then like quickly look away and pretend they didn't see it. But
I don't have a problem. What are you talking about? Oh, sucks to be you, Mr. Addict.
Yeah. But like, so my cutoff time was 5 o'clock. That's when I was like, I'll be done. I'll go home. But 5 o'clock came and I'm like, I'm feeling good. And I was just like, I'll stay for another 30 minutes. I'm like, I'm fine with that. I can stay for another 30. And so 5:25 hits, 5 minutes before I'm going to wrap up. And this kid walks past me, stops, reads my sign, and he goes, is this your sign? I'm like, yeah, this is mine.
No, I'm just holding on to it for somebody. Here's your sign.
It's yours now.
But he was just like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, this is my sign. And he sat down and we talked for 20 minutes. And he just told me, he was just like, it's like, yeah, I get in these relationships. I can't tell if it's me lusting after them or if it's me genuinely liking them. He's like, just talking about all this stuff. And I was kind of like, dude, like you're saying that. And all I'm hearing you say is, I don't feel like I am allowed to be loved because I have an addiction. Mm. I'm like, you're carrying a bunch of shame. And he just stopped and he's like, whoa. He's like, that's crazy. He's like, that's exactly how I feel. And we talked some more and we kind of get to the end of it. And he was just like, I just don't have anyone to talk to about this. Like, I'm alone. And I was like, dude, you're not alone anymore. So I gave him my number, expecting nothing from it. And, he texted me a few days later and was just like, can we please go out to lunch and just talk some more? I'm like,
dude. Yeah, that's so sick.
Yeah. I'm like, so 3 hours, hundreds of people passed me, one kid. And it was beautiful, but he could have never talked to me. I could have had not a single soul speak to me that entire time, and I still would have counted this as a success because, one, I was doing this because I truly believe that God asked me to do it, and that is the main motivator behind it. But two, I'm at a point in my recovery where I know how powerful it is to be vulnerable. I know how powerful it is to be unashamed and unafraid. And I know that there are so many people who feel like they are completely alone in their addiction. And just for me to sit there for 3 hours and just show people like, hey, you're not alone. Here I am. I'm here exposing myself, putting my heart on the line for you so that you can know that you are not alone in this addiction. And I would have been completely content with that. But then I got this really amazing experience with this kid. And that was just at UVU. I told Sam about it, and he's...
Little did Austin know that I had just prayed a few nights before. God, I need your guidance to help me understand where we can go to reach more people. And I need you to introduce me to people. I prayed this like almost word for word. I need you to introduce me to people who will help me to understand what that looks like. I'm not joking. This actually happened.
And we go to dinner, and Sam just brought up where he was just like, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out ways to get this out. And I was like, I've got something crazy for you.
Heck
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, you want to hear what I've been up to? And I told him, and he was just like, that's the wildest thing I've ever heard. And usually the response that I've been getting from people, I tell people in recovery, and they're like, the way they say is like, the ball's on you, kid. They're like, that's crazy. Like,
See,
that's
I'm like,
so
I want to
cool.
go with you, man. I want to go and do it.
Well, for me, it wasn't like God revealed some long-term plan that he had laid out and where this would lead, but it was very just simply like, this is an opportunity. And so we did it. Austin went to U of U the next day. I didn't go with him that day, but the following weekend, we went down to Salt Lake City, and we took that sign, and we took 2 camp chairs, and we sat on a corner right across from City Creek Mall, and we held that sign. And we had been sitting down for 10 seconds when this guy comes up, busting around the corner, and he goes, "Me too. I've been clean for 30 days." Didn't even stop to chat, just walked along. I was like, this is going to go well.
I freaking love it.
So for the next 2 hours,
2 hours, yeah.
we sat there, and person by person came by. Some people kind of giggled because I think they honestly couldn't believe that we were being like that vulnerable about it. And other people just looked and walked past, but probably had 8 or 9 people come up and have genuine conversations with us. Some of them lasted almost 15 minutes. And my heart was so alive that whole time. I had so many incredibly authentic interactions with complete strangers. Most of them expressed like gratitude and awe that we would be that open. And it was so healing.
Yeah.
What was it like for you, dude?
Absolutely mind-blowing, especially being at UVU, where I was expecting kind of the same thing of just like, we might get one person, maybe one person, and then the first 10 seconds we have that guy, which is wild. But my heart was alive. My soul was on fire. Just being there and talking with people, having the real genuine conversations, letting people know that they're not alone, letting people know that it's okay to talk about your addiction. And like what we were doing, more on the extreme end,
For sure it was.
but you can talk about it. And
Yeah.
you don't have to be ashamed. You don't have to be afraid.
What I love about it is that you guys you're de-shaming it. And what you guys did going out there, putting that sign, is you just created safety for someone to share their heart with you.
Yes. People want to talk about it so badly.
And they're so damn scared because of the shame, and it's not safe.
But when given the opportunity, they will in a heartbeat. I felt like crying the whole way home, and I just had this buzz. And also, like, me and Austin don't really know each other that well. We've spent a total of about 3-4 hours together at this point.
Yeah.
And I think we both would say, like, we feel such an unreal connection. Like, we already know we're going to be long-term friends because, like, it was just this feeling of, like, unity, brotherhood, and togetherness, fighting for a common cause. It was really, really special.
I totally know what you're feeling because this is almost the same conversation we had. I'm pointing to James right now. That me, James, and Steven had when we left UCAP, Utah Coalition Against Pornography, literally almost 8 years ago to the day, right now that we're recording this. And we're like, we need to do something more. We need to make this a movement. We need to make this bigger because this is so much bigger than us. And we need to be able to create this space for people to know that there's hope. They can live unashamed, live unafraid, and live in recovery. Freaking awesome. Love what God is doing with you and where he's taking you in this. It's so sick.
The beginning of an adventure.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely not the last time we're going to be doing that.
Yeah, we enjoyed it so much that we like talked about it on the way home. We're like, should we just do this every 2 weeks for Brotherhood?
There you go.
We need to like laminate this sign so it doesn't get torn up and just let's just do it. I'll drive next time.
It was. Well, and just for context, what would you say was the most common question we got? Because the sign said, ask me anything.
Ask me anything. The most common question we got was, what kind of porn do you watch?
Always.
People were asking that.
That was the first question we'd get
I
asked
think
every
one
time.
person was
Interesting.
maybe-
I never would have thought that.
I'm not sure why they asked that question, But this was my answer. I was like, I watch types of porn that portray women who are highly affirming of men because that does something for me. It makes me feel like I'm safe because I never really got that growing up. That's what I told them. And they were like, oh, that makes a ton of sense. Thank you for sharing. They did not expect it. But I was like, if we're going to sit here, we're going to do some real talk.
I can talk to a complete stranger about how sober I am and what kind of porn I watch and where I am in that and everything. But it's like, I'm still terrified to talk to my wife when I relapse.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where does that even come in? Like, why can't I talk to all these strangers? But I'm still terrified to talk to my wife. Like,
Yeah.
And I'm in the same position.
See,
it's crazy.
What's cool though is that you're going out and providing hope for somebody.
Yes.
Just like I just did a keynote up in Washington, and people were coming up to me after, and they're like, the things you were talking about, like, holy crap. He's saying this in front of all these people? Are you kidding me? Like, he's for real? He's like saying all these things. They're like, my heart was dropping for you. You know, and that it wasn't just one person that said it. It was like multiple people that said that. They're like, we were dying. But what you're doing is providing hope.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
And that's
That
my
is
thought
just
is
God
like,
showing up.
if we can go and we can do this in a way that's dignified and transparent,
Yep.
like, why would people not want to follow us into that? Now, I don't want anyone to come away from this episode thinking, eventually when I get far enough in recovery, I've got to get one of those signs and go out to Salt Lake. Guys, there are millions of men and women who have recovered from sexual addiction who have not done this. But
Yeah.
the point,
They're not opening like we are.
the point is that this is the next step in recovery for us. We feel like we're making an impact. That's what recovery is all about. However, if you're interested in getting involved, shoot me an email, sam@unashamedunafraid.com.
Heck yeah.
Agreed.
Guys, thanks for watching. Find us on social media @unashamedunafraid. Become an outsider on unashamedunafraid.com by going to unashamedunafraid.com/donate. Share this with a friend and help us spread this message. Rate us and give us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. And until next time, continue to live unashamed.
Yeah. Yeah.